Hey, welcome to ILMB Mortgage Brokering. And this is going to be a really short episode, but I'm excited to share with you. We are doing a countrywide tour. This is in Canada, at least for this year, going to 12 cities. And I'm excited to share with you what we're doing with that. I'm going to talk about a little bit about the history of ILMB Mortgage Brokering. This is our 10-year anniversary. Talk about where we're going to be and how you can get a free ticket to that event. Before I jump into that, I want to give a shout out to our title sponsor, Finmo. Finmo is a Canadian mortgage application, document collection, submission platform designed specifically for Canadian borrowers. It's very easy for borrowers to use. It's got some cool features like Smart Docs. It knows what documents your client needs based on how they fill out the app. And a lot of times when people fill out applications, they actually get their documents to answer the questions. And if you make it easy, they'll actually send them to you with the application, which happens a lot because it's such a good program. Also, they're connected to Lender Spotlight, which is the best tool for searching rates and guidelines. Check them out at lendesk.com/Finmo. What is this whole roadshow thing? And so initially, we're a 10-year anniversary. I started the podcast July 14th, July 14th, 2014. And honestly, I never thought that this would be a 10-year stint. There's numerous times where I almost pulled the plug on the whole thing. And I'm so grateful that I didn't. But there was times definitely where that I seriously considered pulling the plug. And I remember like the first month that I did the podcast, I think that we had 160 downloads for the entire month. And before I even launched the podcast, I had heard that most podcasts die at 6 episodes. So most people get the idea. They want to do a podcast. They do 6 episodes, run out of ideas, and then they just don't go anywhere. So I thought I recorded 10 before I even launched. So I had 10 episodes in the can. And if you listen to the very first episode that I did with Peter Matheny, he was my hero, still is my hero. The guy's an amazing mortgage broker. And I'm so nervous. You can hear my voice. I'm like cracking. I'm like, hi, Peter, like talk. And I was like, I want to do this podcast thing. And the whole idea for the podcast really came to me from, I would go to mortgage events and I found that a lot of times like the speakers and stuff weren't fantastic, at least not back. They're better now, but back in the day, I'm like, this is not useful. What I found useful was sitting around the lobby, having a beer or a coffee, talking to a top mortgage broker. What are you doing? Here's what I'm doing. Let's share ideas back. And I was like, this is valuable. I was getting all sorts of insights. And I thought, is there a way I can actually replicate that without having to do all the traveling and without having to drink all that beer because I'd probably be an alcoholic or, 50 pounds overweight. And so the podcast was born from that idea. And, I think it was 18 months before I ever got a sponsor for the show. I did 18 months. I paid for, I've never edited a single one of these episodes. Thank God, because it's a lot of work. And so if you're going to do a podcast, I don't encourage you to do that stuff. But I would just talk to people, walk away. And the show has evolved over the years. I've tried different things, experimenting. And I'm learning now, getting more into the video and I'm going to up my game on that. This setup you see right now, if you're looking on video, is a step in the right direction. It's still not where I want it to be, but I'm going to upgrade that stuff significantly in this next 6 months. And in this last year, the focus has been on trying to get better at social, which our social accounts has been doing amazing. I have a small following on social. Go follow me if you're not already on Instagram. I think I have 1,600 followers, no bot followers. I don't pay anybody. I didn't go buy it. These are all real people. But the amount of accounts that we engage over a 30-day period is last time I looked was over 10,000. And that's the number that matters to me. It's like, if we engage enough accounts, we will grow organically and it'll be good growth. And so that has been the focus for the last 8 months or so. And it's getting some more traction. I'm playing the long game with that, just like with the podcast. And now we're going to move into doing better video. But let's talk about this roadshow. So this roadshow came to me from Denise, a friend of mine, my COO for our mortgage company. And she said, why don't you do a roadshow? Like, you've been doing this forever. I'm like, that's a really good idea. And so the idea is that I'm going to go to these. It was initially going to be 10 cities, but we squeezed 2 more in there, Windsor and Montreal. And the idea is that I'm going to go do a live podcast interview with a local high producing broker. So just like I used to, but in person. So I got all my gear set up for that. I'm very excited. And then later in the afternoon, we're going to do a meetup. And so all mortgage brokers are welcome. Doesn't matter who you're with, whatever. The whole idea is just to get together, share ideas, have a bit of fun, joke around, share some tactics, conversation. It's going to be a really casual, fun event. And it's completely free. They are limited space. So, the venues that we have lined up they're going to be full. So if you want to get one of those spots, if you click on this episode, there'll be a link to ILMB Mortgage Brokering /Roadshow, or you can just go to the main website. So ILMBMortgageBrokering.com, and you can see there'll be a link to the roadshow. Register. Now, the way it works with this is that because we want to actually see, if you're going to register, we want you to come because it's free. we do get your credit card info. And if you cancel without 48 hours notice, we're going to charge you $50 for not coming because it costs us money. Like we've got great sponsors that are helping us put this together. So one of them being Finmo. Thank you, Finmo, for partnering with us. Rocket Mortgage is our big sponsor on this. So Rocket is mortgage in Canada. Obviously, if you're an American listener, you're like, you know who those guys are, but they're new to Canada and they're expanding. And so they said, hey, we'll do this. This sounds like a lot of fun. So Rocket's coming with us, as well as Broker Edge. So I got some friends who started a little CRM that's kind of turned into a bigger CRM. And it's just really simple. It's like the simplest version of a CRM. It's not that high cost. But it's got a lot of great features baked into it. And I love what those guys are doing. And so Broker Edge is our other sponsor. So they've helped us put this whole thing on. So we get to go out and just meet a whole bunch of awesome mortgage brokers. And we're very excited about doing this. And so if you want to come to this event, I encourage you, it will fill up, and just go to ilovemortgagebrokering.com/roadshow, register for your ticket or for your spot. And then the other thing I wanted to say is, so if you're an American listener, you're like, Scott, I don't care. Like I'm in America. Why are you not? And we will be doing an American roadshow, a US roadshow rather, in 2025. So this is our first crack at this. And, we do have lots of US listeners. So thank you for, if you're in the US, we love you guys. I love, I got great friends down there, Wally and a whole bunch of other people. And I love learning from you guys and just, sharing ideas. It's a lot of the same, like 70% of the business is the same. Obviously, there's some differences on the underwriting and the lending side, but at the end of the day, it's a sales business that we're both in. And there's a lot of crossover. And so I love talking to my friends in the US. And so we will be doing a US tour in 2025. So keep your eyes open for that. But right now it's in Canada. It starts in September 26th. Windsor is the first location. And then we're going to be going for about it was a massive undertaking for the logistics of this, but I got a great team. Chelsea's been amazing at helping put this together. Check that out. Thanks for listening. Thanks for being, if you've listened to any of these shows, some of these shows, been a guest on my show at one time. 10 years, man. I can't believe it's been 10 years. I don't even know how many downloads we got. Well, million plus. I don't know what the number is now. Millions of downloads, and very awesome. Thank you for being part of this community. Thanks for being part of our I Love Mortgage Brokering community, as well as a listener. And thanks. Yeah, hopefully I'll see you at one of these events. It's going to be awesome. As I always say, there's no problem in your mortgage business that isn't already solved. Your problem is like, who's got the answer? Hopefully coming to this live event will give you a few of those answers that you're looking for. Thanks for listening. I'm Scott Beckford, and I will see you on the next episode.